Every year, roughly 200 to 300 shopping centers close across the US. But in 2025, that number may double. Hundreds of shopping malls, once the centerpiece of American retail, are shutting the doors for good. These closures span from mid-sized suburban malls to major regional centers that once dominated retail landscapes. The pace is accelerating so quickly that even retail landlords and investors are struggling to keep up. This collapse is not new. Mall closures have been underway since the late 1990s. But the situation in 2025 is different. We're seeing synchronized collapses across both major chains and local outlets. Foot traffic is plunging. Even food courts, which usually stay busy, are going dark. Owners are surrendering properties to lenders and selling them at massive losses. In places like Florida, Michigan, Texas, and California, entire malls are being sold for less than the value of their land. In some cases, former anchor stores like Macy's or Sears are being sold separately, sometimes for a few $100,000, far below their appraised value. Property records reveal a consistent pattern: declining valuations, missed loan payments, and quiet foreclosures. One former mall in California that had been valued at over $20 million in 2018 sold for just $1.5 million earlier this year. Even more shocking, its buyer immediately listed it for resale, without any renovation or investment, suggesting that the deal was less about redevelopment and more about getting rid of liabilities. Behind all this is a collapsing business model. Many of these malls were built in the 1970s and 1980s, when anchor stores like J.C. Sears, and Macy's drew traffic. But those brands have been in decline for years. And with e-commerce growing stronger, younger shoppers are no longer turning to malls for convenience or entertainment. Instead, they shop online or turn to specialized outlets and local experiences. At the center of this shift are the landlords, the companies and trusts that own and operate these malls. Many are struggling with rising debt, falling occupancy rates, and aging infrastructure. Redevelopment efforts are often expensive and slow. Transforming a failed mall into something like housing, office space, or logistics centers can take years and often runs into local zoning challenges. Retail real estate investment trusts, REITs, like Simon Property Group and Macerich have already written off billions in assets. Smaller landlords are exiting the business altogether. A growing number of mall properties are being turned over to special services, companies that manage distressed commercial real estate loans. These services often opt to liquidate properties quickly to recover whatever value remains. Then there's the issue of crime and safety. As malls become less active, they attract loitering, vandalism, and sometimes more serious criminal activity. Local police departments across the country have reported rising incidents in and around declining malls. This further discourages foot traffic, creating a feedback loop of abandonment and decay. But the biggest factor in this collapse may be rising interest rates. Malls are capital-intensive assets. They require regular renovation, marketing, and security investment to stay relevant. With borrowing costs now much higher than they were just a few years ago, even solvent landlords are hesitating to reinvest. This has left many malls in a state of suspended animation, open but neglected, with lights on but few customers inside. Retailers themselves are also shifting strategies. Big box stores like Target, Kohl's, and Best Buy are focusing on smaller, standalone stores or strip centers. These locations have lower overhead and more direct access to consumers. Even Starbucks and Chipotle are shifting away from mall food courts and into street-facing locations with drive-thrus. Interestingly, some brands are returning to traditional Main Street formats. Instead of being inside a large mall, they're opening boutique-style stores in revitalized downtown areas. This trend is especially visible in cities like Nashville, Pittsburgh, and Charlotte, where local developers are renovating older buildings and attracting a mix of national and local retailers. So, what happens next? In many towns, these dead malls will simply sit empty. A few may be demolished and replaced with housing or warehousing, especially in places where housing shortages are critical. But most will linger, caught between failing economic models and bureaucratic red tape. Some cities are trying to get ahead of the problem. In Texas, lawmakers are looking at zoning changes that would make it easier to convert malls into mixed-use developments. In New Jersey, some developers are experimenting with transforming malls into indoor entertainment hubs, complete with arcades, escape rooms, and even indoor sports facilities. But these are the exceptions, not the rule. Ultimately, this is more than just a retail story. It's a story about a changing culture. The mall, once a symbol of American prosperity, is no longer the social center it used to be. Teenagers now hang out online, not at the food court. Families shop on apps, not in anchor stores. The age of the American mall is coming to an end. Not with a bang, but with a quiet, steady fade. This is True State Report. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.